All right. By the way, we're recording live here. We're on the air. All right. So we're going to basically draw out the tables first, and then reverse engineer it to create our database. So we'll just go down here, hit models to add a new model. I wish I could. I don't know. Can I? Is there a way to enlarge this? You've been working with this before. Because
nope.
This does not work.
Not that I know of. Just scoot in if you can't see.
Yeah, all right. So first I'm going to rename this database. I'm just going to call it demo. And then I'm going to go ahead and add diagram. Okay, there's demo. Set the little table button. Let's add a table. I'm going to have a few of them, so I'm just going to populate them up here really quick. All right. So first table, let's do our basic users. So go down here, call it users, add our columns, first the ID. This is going to be the primary key. Pretty much every table, whether you use the ID or not, has to have an ID.
Every time.
Yep.
Change to ID, click auto increment, step 1.
And that is right here, there's a little AI, and that stands for auto increment. Check it. It also checked once you have an auto increment ID, it automatically knows it's a primary key, and it can't be null. So every time you add a row, it will start at whatever number, increment it automatically. It'll make sure to add it because it's not null, and it knows it's a primary key. All right. So then let's just add a few basic things like, let's just say name, and this data type, varchar. We'll say 45, leave that alone. And I'm not going to worry about email, so let's just say password. And that's also varchar, except we need to, quick tip now when you're doing a password, make sure your data type, or the length, just use 255. Because if you default 45, there are encryption things that when they encrypt a password, it makes it 60 characters long. And if you have a minimum less than that, you're going to get an error. So just off the bat, make it largest number, 255. All right, and then with every single table we get, we make a created at, that's a date time, and updated at, which is also a date time. All right, so that's basically our users table. And let's go ahead and name this other table since we love blogs so much. We're not going to call it blog, we'll just call it posts.
Are we doing the blogs? Right here?
Not the actual assignment. I'm just kind of making my own here, which has some various components. So, all right, posts, ID, because everyone has an ID, auto increment, and we'll add a title to the post, variable varchar, and content. That you don't really want to limit a post content usually, so we'll make that text. And then created at, date time, updated at, also date time. Okay, that one should be good for now. And then let's go ahead and say we can create comments for those posts. So we'll rename this comments because tables are usually going to be plural. ID, auto increment. Comments don't need a title, it just needs a content, text, and something I forgot to add into the post section, which I'll need to go back to. Actually, I'll do that later. And then created at, date time, updated at, also date time. So we've got comments, posts. Let's go ahead and say we can let users like certain posts. So I'm just going to create a table right now to save the information of like posts. And I will call this like posts. And right now I'm just going to throw an ID in here and we'll see why in a little bit. All right. So what we're missing here are primary or foreign keys. So posts. Who created the post? Well, a user did. How many posts can the user have? Many. But each post can only have one user that created it. So we have a one-to-many relationship. So we click this little one-to-many guy here. First, click on the many side of it, and then click on the one side. And you see it just made the connection. I don't know how to describe that other than it's has one thing, so it's a one, and whereas this has like this fork, pitchfork, whatever shape, so one to many. Now, what it does is it takes the name of the table and adds underscore ID to it, but to be more abiding by convention, we need to go in there and change that and just simply make that singular, because the one side of this is just one user, not multiple, so that doesn't make sense. So just change that to user ID. All right, same thing with comments. One user can have many comments, but a comment belongs to one user, so click the one to many again. Many side first on comments, one to user. But where do those comments go to? They obviously belong, you're commenting on a post, so it's the same thing. A post can have many comments, but each comment would only belong to one post. So click the one to many again, many on comment, one to post. And let's fix all these foreign keys really quick. And anytime you have a foreign key, there has to be a corresponding primary key, and every foreign key only has a primary key. So you can never have a primary match to a primary. It's just not possible. Same, you can't have a foreign match to a foreign. It's always foreign with primary are the only two that connect.
And it also, what I noticed as well, I mean, that's kind of a question, but like it knows that even though it says user, that it's referring to users. Because like, you know, that path is defined as like a users, but it just says user because you changed it. You would like fall in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well this title, when I did the one to many, it created this, so no matter what I change this name to, it knows that this key belongs to that key.
Well, the foreign key in another table always refers to the primary key. There can only be one primary key.
Exactly.
Okay, there we go. That's okay.
Yeah.
Politically correct. You just change it from users to user. Just
Yeah, because it also makes more sense. Because a comment only belongs to a user, not multiple. So it wouldn't make sense to keep it as user. Yeah, liked is going to be a little different because, a post can be liked by many users, and a user can like many posts. So this is going to be a many-to-many, and because that's a many-many, we're just going to create a separate table that it goes through, and this is going to, basically the way we represent the many-to-many is two one-to-manys. That makes sense. So I'll hit the one-to-many here first. Click the many to the user. Yep, and then do the same thing here. And why did it not create my,
You didn't put anything under the bar.
You did the wrong way. It's
well, here, let's,
What?
okay. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, you're right, yeah. That's why. Wrong way. Okay, that's fixed. Alright, so make that singular. Okay, so basically each row here would contain the ID of a user and the ID of the post, and that represents that user liked that post. Otherwise, it wouldn't even be in this table. Alright, so this is our basic table structure, unless you guys want me to add anything else.
If someone,
Okay, I think that's good.
well, I'm not gonna. Let's say that we're able to like the comments as well. Is that just literally many to many for the?
Yeah, you just do the exact same thing like this, except make a separate table you would just probably call like comments or something like that, or same thing like up vote, down vote, things like that. And you could add other stuff into this too if you wanted to. Like, say if you allowed a person to like I don't know why you would want to, but say you want to let the person like a post number of times and just want to click it. You can tell me add like a count column, or you know, you can add different bits of information too if you want.
What if you wanted to rate a post from 1 to 5? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you could do some like that. Maybe do like rated posts, and then you would have a user ID, post ID, and another column for rating number.
The rating?
Yeah,
Okay.
1 to 5, something like that. So yeah, you can do something like that too.
You can just do it right there inside that table.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of piggybacking off of the question for the likes. Could you adjust the table to where it was just likes? You had 1 likes, and you maybe would have null value for a post if you were liking a comment, and vice versa. So in other words, if
Oh, you mean to make this one table to
Yeah.
either be like posts or like comments?
Yeah.
You're talking polymorphism.
okay.
So
Well,
yeah, polymorphism, not an easy concept for a lot of people. You get into it in a Ruby track a little bit. Well, now we got our tables, and we'll just leave this kind of simple. So what we want to do is we want to forward engineer this. So it's going to click forward engineer. And this will be saved in our local instance. I just hit continue through all this stuff because I don't know what it all means. I ain't even bother to look at it really. All right, so what this does when you forward engineer, it basically creates all the code you need to create the database for you. Now, when I hit continue, it'll do it for me. Later on, you'll see in some assignments, it'll give you this code, and then you just simply copy it and then paste it into the SQL query box, which I'll get to here in a second, and it'll create the database for you. Because you can see it right here. It says create schema. That's the little database I call demo. And then here, create table users, create table posts, and then all the stuff I selected, column names, data types, things like that.
Don't want to type that out? Is it something worth value to know?
You don't want to type all this stuff out.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to get into solely working on database and database stuff only for the rest of your life.
And you don't, and that's because it's 1 hour.
You can make a career out of SQL.
Yeah. So we'll just hit continue doing stuff, word engineer successful, close. So now if we can close that out, and if this, let me just close this out. Let's not go to
They
home.
just want you to save your model.
Oh, yeah. Open this up, and right here is our schema list. You can see how I've got a bunch of them in here. So I need to find demo, which is right there. All right, so
If you're already logged into your server, when you forward engineer a new database, you may not see it on the list there. And there's a little refresh button. Can you show them where it's at?
right here.
So if you don't see it, just hit that refresh. That's probably the missing link.
Yep. All right, so we got our demo. Click on that, and we should be in demo. Now, right now, we have nothing in there. So let's go ahead and create some data. First, I'm going to click on a column just in case I forget, it lists out what you made down here, so that way I don't forget. So let's insert some data first. So we go insert into table name users. Column names is name, password, created at, and updated at. And what are we inserting into? The values of, in fact, let's clean this up. Every time I get a new keyword like that, I'm just going to go to a new line so it's easier to see. Values name, we'll say John. Password will be very insecure and just be password. And created at, here's the cool thing with SQL for created and updated at. It has a function called now, and it has to be followed by parentheses. So what it'll do is when it creates this object, creates this row, it'll just use the current timestamp and fill those out. So that's my insert into, it's followed by semicolon. going to show you two ways to interact. So once you write out your statement, you can hit this little lightning bolt. And it tells you right here, okay, it just ran something. So let's see if that worked. So let's go ahead and do select all from users. The other way, instead of hitting lightning bolt, you can also just press, I don't know on Windows, but on Mac it's Command Enter. Control Enter, okay. And now you don't have to click lightning bolt, whatever you feel, it don't really matter. So anyway, so there it is, we got one person in our database. Let's go ahead and add one more.
You had executed that code already, insert into?
Yep.
Before you did the select, so it won't redo that same code over again?
Yeah, because I got the semicolon up here, it'll only run the last statement that you put it, last query that you wrote.
Oh, okay, so it
So,
knows where you stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to keep it clean, you can just, obviously delete all those, but you don't have to because, yeah, it'll just run the last thing. So when I type in a new one, it'll ignore all the previous stuff.
It does.
So,
Did you
Just need
try to
import
link
a
to it, or was
text
it just
file
something
into-
that you moved?
Into the information instead of typing it all in. Insert into user.
You just enter the bar.
yeah.
There has to be an easier way instead of having to hit enter in each.
What do you mean? Then this? Well, where else would the data come
Funny
from?
stuff.
You gotta enter it in.
I was just saying you can throw it into an Excel file and get like, I guess.
Yeah, you could do that.
And play around with it, then export it. So you'll have like some added
Can you
message.
import data?
Oh, and also, I know Cody said earlier it doesn't matter if you make these keywords capital or lowercase, and it doesn't here, but it's not a bad idea to always do capital because there are instances later on that if you want to write your own queries, you have to do capital. And that's in Django, if you want to do a raw query.
Thanks, Django.
Yeah, I know, Django. So anyway, it's good habit, just leave them all capital. That's just my opinion, though. So let's enter that in there. So we should have two users now. I'm not even gonna, well, let's just go ahead and select all from users. I forgot my closing parentheses over here. Here's the good thing, if some don't run, you can just erase everything, go back, and let's try that again. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't even notice there's a red X by that statement, so.
See it?
Yep. Alright. So let's,
It's like a closing parenthesis.
yep, I forgot that. That's the problem with these now is you have multiple parentheses and it just looks weird. Okay, so there's two. Alright, so we got a couple users. Let's go ahead and insert some data into posts. Let me see what tables I had there. ID, title, content. Okay, so insert into posts. Title, content. And by the way, what happens if I forget to put in created at and updated at? I guess we'll find out. I already know, but what do you think will happen if I don't add in created at, updated at? You think there'll be an error?
No, I don't
Or
think
there's no
just
date and time.
on attribute. Give it the attributes.
Alright, well, let's find out.
As long as you correspond the values with.
Alright, so insert into post, title and content values. First post stuff. Command enter. What'd I miss? I did.
You don't have the foreign key.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's what it is. So I need the user ID of who created it.
That was the proof, I think.
Yep.
I didn't think so.
So stuff, and we'll say the first one I put in I know is a
It's
1.
using to generate that.
So that ran, so let's go ahead and select all.
What's that one for right there?
User ID.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because if you remember when we did the users that had the ID, so that's going to be how you reference it. Yes, that's the. This is the foreign key, 1, which connects to the primary key of 1 on the users table, and now you know which user it is. Alright, so let's see what happened to the times. So, Yeah, I didn't set it that it can't be null, so it just says null.
Oh yeah.
That's all. So no error. While he was talking, I created a third user because I want to do some. So let's say that we're going to have user number 2 and user number 3 are both going to like post number 1. So we're going to insert into like posts user ID.
Can you blow that up any of them?
I tried it. It won't let me zoom in. All right. What am I doing? Oh yeah, inserting into like posts. Oops. And values, user ID, we're going to say 2, post ID 1. Oh, wait.
Oh, shit.
Can I add? Oh, I did miss
What
something
about right
else.
here? That says 100%. I'm assuming that's maybe
That's
the.
it. That's exactly. I literally was just about to say that.
Bam! I can read!
Whoa! Well, at least the top part.
Thank you.
That's the important part.
Yeah, the bottom part you have to go to the options and all that
Superman did.
and change your font.
Okay, insert into liked posts, user ID, post ID, values, 2, the user ID, post ID is 1. What didn't it like?
It's a foreign key constraint again.
Yeah.
Are you sure that it's user ID and post ID? Maybe you should check your ERD.
I'm looking at the columns right here.
Is there a user with an ID of 2?
There is. Because if I go select all from users, and there's user ID of 2, user ID of 3.
And the post is there too?
Post ID.
Select all from posts. Oh, 2. That's it. So we don't have a number 1 post. Why is that? Oh, well,
You deleted one?
I guess I may have. All right, so let's just change this to post number 2.
Log in and make sure it's done for me.
Okay, that works.
It's a lot of work.
Insert.
Yeah.
And let's do the same thing again, except this time we'll do user number 3, same post number. And that worked. Okay. So if we select all from like posts, what it shows is user ID of 2 likes post ID 2, user ID of 3 likes post ID 2. Except that don't look good, because it's like what's the name of the post and what's the name of the people that like it.
Doesn't. Okay, that's what we're adding.
So why don't we find out? Let's go ahead and I want to start over. Okay. So let's select, and now what we're going to do, because we're going to be referencing multiple tables, the fields that you want to select, it's good to be descriptive and use the table name. So even though I don't have to in some, like this time there's only one table that has the column name. So actually I don't even need it. So let's just say select name. That's going to come from users. Then we want to select the title, which is of the post. And how many likes does this post have? So let's just say count. And this is a SQL function where it'll grab and count. What we're going to count is basically the like post where the post ID equals 2. So count like post dot post ID, and we're going to give this an alias. So we're going to call this as number of likes. It's hard looking at TV.
That particular user liked that post?
No, this is going to count the number of times that one post ID shows up in the like post table.
How many times a particular
Yeah.
post has been liked?
It'll make more sense when you put this
Yeah.
clause in.
Yeah, exactly. When I do my where clause, yeah. Okay, so we're going to do name, title, count. of like posts as number of likes, and we're going to pull that from, let's just say we're going to pull it from posts, but we need access to the count table and the name off the users table. So now we need to join these tables. So yep, we're going to join, first we're going to join like posts on like post dot post ID equals post.id. So what this statement is saying is join the like post table to the post table. Where do you join them? Where like the post ID on the like post table matches the ID on the post table. And then we also need to join users, and this is gonna, we're getting the name of the users that liked a post. So we're not connecting users to posts here because we don't want who created it, we want who liked it. So we're joining users to the like post table. So like posts dot user ID equals users dot ID. And by the way, when you're joining these, the two columns you're joining, it doesn't matter which one's first. I could have wrote this post side dot ID to like post, it don't matter, you can go either way. And where post dot, oh wait, yeah, where post dot ID equals 2. All right, oh, let's find out. All right, looks like it worked. Well, kinda. So we only got one row here. Now the number of likes works because we have 2.
Did
So
that
the,
2 times?
no.
The name,
So,
first name, would you get the first name that appeared there?
oops.
No, name references a key in the users table. His key is called
But you're
name.
getting a count on the post table, so you're
It's like
grouping
name,
that
title,
together, right?
count.
or
Yes.